Before the split, you were born into a war. Not a war of bullets, but of blueprints. Not a fight for land, but for your perception. Because before you could speak, you were being programmed. You didn't learn duality, you were taught it, not by monsters in the shadows, but by the normal world, the polite world. The world that tells you, this is just how it is. But it wasn't always like this before the split. We lived in oneness. Not sameness, harmony. We didn't chase status. We served each other with sacredness. We didn't build pyramids of power. We built circles of connection. We didn't worship images. We honored essence. Life was frequency. Community was courtesy. The divine wasn't in a sky, it was in every eye. But then it came, the fracture, a system designed to divide. And they called it civilization. Now from the moment you enter school, you're not asked who you are. You're asked, how well can you perform? You're sorted, labeled, measured, compared. You're taught that knowledge lives in books, not in you. That the winners rise and the rest obey. You get grades, not guidance, deadlines, not dreams. In the moments you breathe without fear, when someone helps without gain. When nature whispers that you're not alone. That's not weakness, that's memory, the memory of who we really are. What we really came from, what still lives inside us despite it all. Because deep beneath the programming is a seed of wholeness, of truth, of the Christ complex. The rest, the world you think is real. That's the Lucifer complex in disguise, and now you're ready to see it. This isn't just philosophy. It's programming. It's engineered. It's spiritual warfare coded into the culture. Because this world runs onto templates, the Christ complex versus the Lucifer complex. And every system, every narrative, every structure around you is built to push one and erase the other. The Christ complex is wholeness, not religion, remembrance. It's humility, unity, love without needing return. It's the power that doesn't dominate, it uplifts. It bends reality through alignment, not control. It heals. It embodies truth. It says, the kingdom is within you. But that's dangerous to the world we're in, because the Lucifer complex flipped it. It's not just rebellion. It's replication. It copies light to gain power, without love. It wants the throne, not to serve but to rule. It builds systems to worship self over source. It creates corporations that mimic creation but drain your soul. Governments that promise order but thrive on chaos. Schools that teach facts but bury wisdom. Churches that speak of God but never guide you to God. It's a complex because it hides inside everything. It wears a mask of enlightenment while feeding ego. It sells you empowerment, but it's counterfeit. It's light with no roots. Spirit with no source. It's the serpent pretending to free you while coiling tighter. And they built the world in its image. The Lucifer complex became law. It became the default setting of culture. You're taught from birth to be seen, not still. Climb, not connect. Win, not witness. Dominate, not dwell. Perform, not perceive. React, not remember. Everything around you screams, be more, do more, prove more. That's not progress, that's possession. That's the false light, the illusion of power that eats your soul to feed your image. But the Christ code, it was never about escape. It was about returning. It doesn't reject power, it redefines it. It doesn't seek followers, it awakens them. It doesn't compete, it completes. It doesn't dominate, it dissolves illusion by simply being real. That's why it had to be buried. Not just by force, but by culture, by media, by design. This is why they mock true humility but exalt false pride. Erase sacred symbols but glorify empty fame. Ban truth speakers but promote influencers with no soul. Tear down old temples but build glass towers to ego. Because this world isn't just random, it's ritualized. It's a Luciferian operating system, hidden under capitalism, politics, and entertainment. But at its root, it's a war on essence. So when you unplug from this matrix, you're not just stepping into peace, you're stepping into rebellion of the purest kind, not to fight, but to reveal. To reveal that the Christ complex lives on, not in churches. In you. The moment you remember who you are, the complex collapses, because it only works if you believe you're incomplete. Oneness was never weak, it was just exiled, but it's returning. Through your eyes, through your presence, through your remembering. This isn't just a battle for the mind, it's a battle for the blueprint, for the soul's throne. And now you know. Everything in this world is backwards, up is down, weakness is strength, fame is failure. The lie is sold as truth, and the truth is labeled a threat. They worship illusion, not essence. They chase separation, not soul. They exalt ego and mock stillness. Duality flipped the world. It turned the mirror into a wall. It turned unity into a competition. It made your spirit forget its source. But oneness doesn't fight duality, it dissolves it. It doesn't burn the world down, it wakes it up. It doesn't demand war, it radiates truth. It remembers what the heart has always known. The kingdom isn't a place, it's a frequency. It's not coming, it's always been here. But only those who quiet the noise can feel it. Now you see. This isn't just confusion, it's a spiritual war. Not with bullets or ballots, but with perception. A war for your awareness, your vibration, your ability to remember the real. Every breath is a choice. Will you live in fear or rise in love? Will you walk in fragments or stand in unity? Will you serve ego or become soul? Will you keep playing the game of division or step off the board entirely? Because the moment you reject the illusion of separation, the moment you stop needing to prove, compare, or win, you become a frequency they can't manipulate. You become dangerous to the lie. You become sovereign. Not a follower, not a fighter, but a living key. Oneness isn't an idea. It's not religion. It's not escape. It's remembrance. It's what Christ embodied, what Buddha reflected, what your soul has always whispered. You are light. You are all. You are whole. And when enough of us remember that, the illusion crumbles. Not with violence, but with presence. Not with fire, but with clarity. Not with war, but with awakening. They taught you to look out there for meaning. To chase titles, followers, nations, flags. To find God in a book, a leader, a sky. But they never told you to look within. Because if you did, the whole game would fall apart. Duality feeds on distraction. It splits you into you versus them, right versus wrong, light versus dark. And as long as you're divided, you're controllable. It keeps you addicted to questions with no answers. Fighting shadows, chasing peace while ignoring the stillness already inside you. But oneness, it doesn't answer questions. It erases the need for them. It doesn't choose a side, it becomes the center. It doesn't seek justice, it becomes harmony. This is the shift, from persona to presence. From opinion to essence, from the programmed mind to the sovereign soul. You don't find truth, you remember it. It's not new, it's eternal. And the moment you stop chasing and start being, the illusion starts to crack. Because they can't sell you what you already are. They can't distract you when you're fully present. They can't divide you when you know every other is you in a different mask. This is what they fear. Not your rebellion, but your remembrance. Not your anger, but your alignment. Not your noise, but your stillness. Because in that stillness, you stop being a player in their system. You become the system breaker. You become the embodied mirror. And the light can't survive in your reflection. So remember, oneness isn't passive. It's the most powerful stance in the universe. To walk the world undivided is a revolution. To speak love in a language of war is a weapon. To live whole in a fractured world is to become the reset. This isn't just philosophy. It's the original blueprint. The sacred design they buried under politics, under culture, under fear. But the soul remembers. And when enough souls awaken, the house of cards collapses. Not with bombs, but with being. Not with riots, but with radiance. So drop the mask, return to the center. You were never split. You were always whole.